On today's show, she's the latest superstar from WOW, Women of Wrestling. Please welcome Ashley Blaze.
I, I honestly, I'm just super excited to be here. I have finally did my first interview for WOW Women's of Wrestling, and Ashley Blaze, like always, is ready to set every interview on fire.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Mike Rand Show. And today's special guest, she's the latest superstar to join WOW Women of Wrestling. Please welcome Ashley Blaze.
Yeah,
Hey Ashley, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic this morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
I can't wait to talk about everything, especially the last episode. So much transpired in the last episode.
Yeah.
But let's start off with how you got involved in WoW, because tell me a little bit about yourself, because you were a varsity athlete, right? In high school and college. Tell me a little bit about that and what sports you played.
Yeah, so I've pretty much been an athlete my whole entire life. Like growing up, my family always had me in sports. It wasn't something that was uncommon to me. Me and my dad always make this joke where it's like, people say they could be an athlete. It's like, well, if you could, why don't you want to be? It's like that drive and that fire in your heart that like I feel like all athletes have. So growing up, my sister played volleyball, and that was kind of like the first sport that really spoke to me. So she would play, and then when I was old enough to play, I would play myself. So I played volleyball, I've done track, I did a little bit of baseball, I've done gymnastics, I've done cheerleading, I've done soccer, like name it, I've pretty much done it. So growing older, my cousin used to play video games with like wrestling, just all wrestling. And I remember seeing it, and back then I was like, "What is this?" Because it was when him and I would play, be like Mario Kart or Mario Party, or we play like Pokemon, things that weren't really like in the world. I kind of thought wrestling was the same way. I thought it was like Tekken or Mortal Kombat. And then he showed me like wrestling's actually like legit people, and people do it and they have a good time, and there's like these stories. So once he did that, I really just fell in love with it, and then started training, and it got me here. So that felt like the most smoothest ride to wrestling that I possibly could have ever thought about.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So did you then, when you discovered what wrestling was, did you go on TV or go online and try to watch any wrestling? And was there like any wrestlers that you saw that really caught your eye?
Yeah, so I definitely went online to look at the wrestlers. He would watch TV, but I really wasn't around him at the time when he was watching the TV, so I didn't get a good, perspective on who I would love from that way. But honestly, I've just seen so many wrestlers all over the spectrum. Like I've seen so many good, talented women, men that I can't even pick one, but a lot of them do stand out because it's something that I feel like wrestlers have where it's the connection that they make with other people. And that's kind of what got me invested of like, oh, she's cool. Oh, he does that. That's awesome. Oh, like he has this face paint. That's cool. Or she has like these tattoos. That's awesome. So it was just something that everyone could be so different, but the same at the same time, if that makes any sense. I feel like that was like the most contradicting statement, but it makes sense.
February is Black History Month. Can you tell me who are some of the people that inspired you and motivated you as a child to live up to your dreams and do what you want to do in life?
Yeah, so it's weird because I feel like the people that inspired me weren't in the wrestling community. Like it was like my mom, my sister, my dad. It was the people that were really close to me that would say, "Hey, you can do anything that like comes to your mind. Like you've done sports for so long, so just do it. Like put your heart into it, your soul into it and go do it." And I feel like that's been the help that I've needed because I want to be that person that somebody sees that they can say, "Hey, if she does it, I can." And me personally, I just thrive on that. So I feel like I am my biggest inspiration because I've been through so much. I've done so much and I've overcame so much. and have my support system, that I want to be that support system for whoever else looks up to me.
How did you get involved in WoW? How did you get started in WoW? Did they find you? Did you find them?
Yeah, so it was actually like a little bit of both because I have a really close friend in the WoW company, and her name is Randy Rara. So Randy used to always talk about WoW, and I was like, I really want to see like what WoW's about. Like it sounds really cool. It sounds awesome. The girls sound fantastic. And she was like always making her outfits and like looking at like the bling because she's a cheerleader. So she like loves the sparkles. And I was like, I'm not that much of a sparkly girl, but let me see. And I remember reaching out to David, and my life has just been a consistency of right place, right time. And I think David saw something in me, and I was like, he asked me to come out to work for the Raw roster. I fell in love, and I, fingers crossed, hope it seems like he fell in love too. Like, like for us to make a big product all together for the women and for myself, that it kind of just fit perfectly together. And I became part of the Raw roster, and I haven't been happier.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of Randy Rara, we haven't seen her in action lately. How is she doing?
Brandy is fantastic. She is just chipper than ever. She is just having time of her life. She's doing still her cheer stuff. Like, so she's out doing, I wish I could even tell you, like the backflips, the back handspring takeovers, all of the cool stuff. So she's still out doing that, having a good time. She's full of energy. She's just happy. So nothing's really changed. I think she's just being Randy. I guess that's the word. Like we all have seen Randy. We know how she is. I think Randy's just being Randy.
What's it like being part of the CBS and WoW family?
I love it. I love it. I feel like this has been the best like locker room I've ever been around. It's been the best like talent I've been around. It's very pure-hearted, and I feel like everyone just wants to be so good, and everyone is taking the time to be the best of the company. And that's where I feel like the company thrives, is because everyone's trying to get to the top, but we're helping each other get to the top as far as like with the matches that get put on, they're so good, which makes the next episode so good, which makes the next episode so good. So we're always just challenging ourselves to be better. So I absolutely love it.
What was the most welcoming to you in the locker room? And was there anybody that maybe took you under their wing to show you the ropes or anything like that?
Yes. So the most welcoming person, I feel like I have to think, like, because I'll switch the questions. So I'm gonna go to the one that took me under the wing. The first that took me under her wing was Santana Garrett. Instantly off the back. Like Santana she's like the mother of the locker room. Her, Big Rig and Betty, they're like the mothers of the locker room. They're super helpful. They make sure everyone's okay and feels like confident and secure and everything. So thank you. And I love you girls for that. Like that was top notch. And I would say the person or people that helped me when I first got there was like Tara and Kara, the Dojo Defenders. Those girls, their heart for WoW is insane. The things that they do is insane. And just being from, the same state as Tara Strike, we already have that kind of like cohesiveness to understand like, hey, like we're here for each other. And then for Kara Kai, for her energy and just how loving she is, I just felt like we built this sister bonding. So it was fantastic.
Now, speaking of the Dojo Defenders, you recently teamed up with them in your first trios match, and you took on the trios champ Top Tier. Now, that match had some, you know, very bad things happen at the end of that match
Yeah.
with an injury. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened at the end of that match and the match in general?
Yeah, so the match in general, it was a good match. I felt like we all have our strengths. And with the trios, I've never been in the trios before, so it was kind of really hard for me to understand the concept of it. But it's nice because I'm normally a solo wrestler. So it's like me or no one else. And having two other women, it's like I can help with their weaknesses, and they are easily helping me with my weaknesses. So it's really good. But obviously, we're not the team like Top Tier is. They've been together for so long. They know each other. They know how to manipulate everything. If we haven't seen that multiple times, kudos to Top Tier. Boo. But as far as Tara, I I couldn't even tell you what happened because in the match, I just remember looking at her and she was on top of everything, and someone breaks up the pin, and then all of a sudden I get thrown into a staircase. So it was just so much cluster so fast. And after that, when Kara and I came to, we got in the ring and she's like holding her leg. So all we know is that she is not in the best shape with her leg. She might have to get surgery. We are in talks with her. Like, obviously, I talk to her all the time. So, making sure she's okay mentally, physically, and hopefully her rehab will go fast and we can come back and kick Top Tier's butt. But I can tell you that Top Tier is not getting away with it. I've only wrestled them once, but I'm sick of them and I'm ready for revenge easily. Like,
Yes, I
karma's
was just gonna
coming.
say, I am sure this is now war. You guys are gonna go after top tier.
Yeah.
And I mean, are you willing to, even if you have to go one by one by one in singles competition with all three of them? Is that what you're gonna do?
1000%. You took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know what order, but I'm coming after them. Whether it's me and Kara, whether it's myself, whether it's Kara by herself, and I'm right behind her, we are taking Top Tier out. That is the goal of 2025, is I'm taking out Top Tier.
Awesome. Now, would the three of you want to be the trios champs and dethrone them?
100%. Like that's goals, all of course. So I would love to. I know Tara, when she comes back, she would absolutely love to. And Kara Kai, I see her being a champion. So like this is nothing to her. But 1000%, if we get the opportunity and we can come back and I know we'll be stronger and better than ever. Like injuries change people, right? Like it makes you stronger than you ever thought you could. I know if she's dedicated, I'm passionate, and Kara is just ready for it. We're taking those belts right off those girls.
Awesome. And now you've had an impressive run in WoW so far with some great moves in the ring. I want to know, what is your favorite move to do in the ring? Do you have a
First,
signature move?
yeah, so I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, especially with trying to perfect everything that I do. Like with me being an athlete, I'm very, very much like what I do is good. It has to be good. I need it to be good. So thank you so much for saying that. It means the world. Um, the one thing I love doing, which I don't do often, shh, is the step up moonsault I do in the corner. I did it to Genesis. That is one thing that I absolutely love doing. I think I have to build that confidence for me to do it, to be like, okay, I can take someone out with this. And then I do it. Other than that, I absolutely love doing the arm drag that I did on Coach. It was like I run and I step up on the second and do like a cool little like lucha arm drag. So that's something that I thrive on doing. Those are fun for me. Plus, I just like getting air sometimes. I'm like, I like to leave my
Yeah.
feet.
Now,
Versatile.
somebody that you debuted against is the now WoW champion, the Classmaster. Can you
Yes.
tell us what that debut match was like for you going up against the Classmaster and having to worry about Samantha Smart in the corner as well?
Yeah. So that match was really fun for me. I think it's because it made me think outside of my box instead of just being, that athlete that can do cool things. Like the Classmaster is super smart, so she can counter anything and everything. And that's what it felt like to me in that match. It's just like anything that I did, it wasn't like good enough. So it made me push myself harder and harder. And then out of the corner of my eye, everywhere I turn, Samantha Smart is there. So it's a lot of obstacles that I had, and I didn't realize how tall the Classmaster was. Like I'm a tall girl. Like I'm like 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". I've always been the tall girl. So stepping across the ring from her, I was like, okay, new dynamic. How do I move around her? I was like, oh no. It's like when you get in there with legitimate your coach and they're like they know everything, but they only taught you this much. And you're like, oh, this sucks. Okay, what do I do? But it helps you. So it's definitely helped me grow. So I can thank that match for that. But I would love a rematch with her.
Yep.
Hmm.
And another person you went up against was Holly Swag with the Fab Four's Lana Star and Miami Sweet Heat in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's one of those things of being outnumbered. Holly Swag is a great competitor, like, but I don't know what is going through her brain with the Fab Four. Like, you leave your mom, and your mom's done everything for you. You go to Fab Four to be fluffy, pink, and get the mansions. But I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it looks like she's having a great time. I wish I could get inside her brain, to be like, why? Maybe that'll explain something. Why the Fabulous Four? But at the same time, the match went as best as I could do it. I was this close. I was this close. Yeah, but maybe I need some backup. Maybe that's what you're telling me. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you got to get the dojo defenders as a little backup when you got your matches there.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe he's trying to say that I need some backup. I'm gonna have to make some calls after this interview.
Yep.
See what I can
Now
do. I'm the squad.
you did have a couple matches that qualified you for the for the WoW Championship, a battle royal. Now, the
Yes.
first match that you had was against Genesis. So tell us about that match against Genesis.
I think that match against Genesis was really hard for me as far as like physically. Because Genesis, she comes out and she has these nunchucks, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get my head kicked in, right? But with me and my moveset and my like how I move in the ring, I'm a kicker too. Like I love to kick people. So that was something that I wasn't used to because normally no one kicks the same way that I do, but Genesis does. So that match was very like entertaining and it was very, what's the word? Like it made me think a lot more in the moment than I ever thought I would have because I know what I'm good at. And that's the thing is all these women know that they're good at something and what they're good at, they do really well. But I feel like Genesis just has this thing in her head that when she's into something, she goes and no matter who's in her way, she takes them out. So that match, I feel like I was one of those where she's like, I want the championship. You're new here. Get out of my way. And I'm like, no, I do everything good. I've always been good at everything that I do. I will win this. So didn't get the win, but I really had a great experience in that match for
Yep.
sure.
And then you were lucky because you had a second opportunity to qualify, and that was against Paula the Colombian Goat with Abilene Maverick in the corner. So tell
Mhm.
us about that match.
That match I think was really good as well. I feel like all the matches that I have at WoW are really good. I'm not just like saying that just to say like I truly in my heart believe it. And I think it was different with her because she had Abilene with her, and Abilene is a former champion. So she has something that I don't have, which is that, champion mentality and WoW that she's being taught. So I think that was something that was an advantage for her over myself, was to know, how to work the ring and WoW, how to become a champion, how to think like a champion. And right now, all I can think about is what I would be like if I was a champion. So that's kind of where that match came from, and I missed my opportunity. That's okay.
Yes,
Because you don't
unfortunately,
know you can't.
I have faith you will be there, that you will get there. And what helps us too is, you picked up a big win against Scout Parker. I am blumbering the words. See, I can't talk today. I don't know what it is. Mumbling my words.
That's
So you
funny.
defeated Scout Parker. So tell us about that.
I did. It was my first one in WoW, so it means a lot to me. Like that match will forever be in my brain. Like it will forever be such a great moment. And then having a talk with David after that was crazy. It was it was interesting to me because with my knee brace, people always went after my knee. So that was something that I had to think about anytime I got in the ring and the bell rung. It was like the first thing that they wanted to do was go after my knee. Scout Parker did not. She went after my arm, which kind of threw me off a little bit because I'm sitting here like, okay, another match with my brace. Someone's going to want to rip it off. Someone's going to want to hit it. Someone's going to want to tear it into pieces. And for her not to go for it, I had to then switch my mindset to be like, okay, how do I, retaliate with my arm being hurt? So having her pull out all of these things and me meeting her for the first time was interesting. And then for me to get that win was the best feeling, like hearing the crowd roar, hearing like my music hit after. It was something that I've needed for so long. It's like a reboost in confidence that I needed. And I was so happy that day. I swear I like went to a restaurant after and just ate everything. Like, you know when bodybuilders like finish the competition, they just eat everything. I was like, donuts, like milkshakes. I was like, yay, it's a party.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge in the ring so far?
I would say I would have said confidence, but I feel like I've gotten that back. I think it's the confidence in myself that I'm doing enough. And that's something that I've always struggled with. Like when people are like, hey, you did a good job, or hey, like I loved what you did. I love this move. In my head, I'm always saying, how can I make it better? And I think being in WoW, it's not how can I make it better anymore. It's hey, you did great. Like be proud of yourself. These people think that you're great, you're amazing, and you're an inspiration. And I have to accept that and not tell myself that it can be better. So that's one of my challenges that I feel like I have in the ring fully.
What makes Ashley Blaze stand out from everyone else on the roster?
Oh, how fast I move. I'm a fast one. For how tall I move literally as fast as fire moves. Ashley Blaze. Like, right? So I personally feel like that's something that I have an advantage of. The way I move in the ring, you would never think that someone my height, my size would move. And I'm so diverse. I can, work your arm, I can use like your legs, I can do moonsaults off the top. I can dive places. Like it's never one thing that you see Ashley do that I'm like, you know what? I can't do that. I'll be like, challenge accepted. I'm gonna figure out a way to do it, and I think that's something that helps me stand out in the women's roster for sure.
Now, Ashley Blaze is fast, but let's see if she can be fast enough for the lightning round.
I
I'm going to name you a couple things and you tell me which one you prefer.
Okay. I've always
Mo-
wanted to do this, so thank you. This has been like a dream of mine.
Movies or TV shows?
TV shows,
Cash or charge?
cash,
Wake up in the morning immediately or give me 5 more minutes to sleep?
5 more minutes, 100%.
Would you rather participate in a tug of war or a three-legged race?
Tug of war.
Laptop or tablet?
Ooh, laptop, tablet,
Which do you prefer getting on Valentine's Day, flowers or candy?
candy,
Would you rather attend a concert or a sports game?
sports game,
Would you rather go on a Ferris wheel or a roller coaster?
roller coaster, adrenaline,
Video games. Would you rather be a single player or a multiplayer game?
multiplayer game,
Vacation or staycation?
staycation.
Would you rather always have a full phone battery on your cell phone or a full tank of gas?
Oh no, I feel like a full, I feel like a full tank of gas.
I know it costs more money, so I would, but on the same token, we need our cell phones, but
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I could, my car has a GPS, but then I'm like, okay, well, how can I talk to anyone if I don't have my phone? But gas costs more. Oh, that's hard. Um, I'm gonna go just with gas.
yep.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna stick with that
Okay.
one.
And the final question, would you rather be a genius but with no one understanding what you're talking about? Or would you rather be talking about things that no one understands and they think you're a genius, but you really don't know what you're talking about?
Oh, I would rather. I feel like I'd rather be a genius because then at least everything's like true that I'm saying. Like I know
Okay.
for a fact it's like true. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This has been so much fun.
You're welcome. Can you tell everybody how they can contact you on social media?
Yeah, so it would be on Instagram and Twitter from Ashley Blaze underscore wow. So that'd be the way to get in contact with me. Tag me in anything. Tag me in posts, in comments, in videos. I love seeing them. Tag me in your dogs and your sports that you're playing. I love all of it. So that would be the way to get into communication with me, see what I'm doing, seeing what I'm up to, and seeing what's happening next on WoW.
Okay, awesome. And you guys can follow me on social media. On X, I am at MikeRandCom, like the website, MikeRand.com. Facebook and Instagram, official Mike Rand. And of course on YouTube at the Mike Rand and at official Mike Rand. And I'm also on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much again for joining us here today.
Yay,
And
thank
we will
you.
talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.